Welcome to Impact News Hour on First Next News Port Harcourt. First, we bring you the headlines. Senate Committee on Sports seek AFCON podium finish for Super Eagles. Federal government welcome European Commission's removal of Nigeria from anti-money laundering, countering finances of terrorism risk high list. Federal Road Safety Corps commits to vehicle safety standards, crash reduction. Bringing you the news this hour is Casitoni. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has sent warm greetings to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, as he clocks 63. The president, in a statement by his advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, described the former member of the House of Representatives, two-time senator, and a former acting chairman of the APC as a consummate statesman and distinguished public servant whose life has been devoted to service, leadership, and nation building. President Tinubu recalled that Senator Kyari served with distinction as commissioner in Borno State, overseeing multiple ministries with a record of rare versatility, competence, and unwavering commitment to the public good. He equally noted the institutionalization of a system that encourages youth participation in agriculture, thereby creating a new generation that has embraced farming as a variable means of livelihood. The president prayed for continued good health and renewed strength and courage for Senator Kyari to realize his dream of food sufficiency for our nation. Moving on, the federal government has welcomed the decision of the European Commission to remove Nigeria from the European Union list of high-risk third countries for anti-money laundering and countering the finances of terrorism. The decision, contained in European Commission Delegated Regulation, released this week amending Delegation Regulation 2016/1675, follows Nigeria's earlier removal from the Financial Action Task Force list of jurisdiction under increased monitoring in October 2025, after the successful completion of its FATF action plan. A statement by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says it is an important milestone which was only possible due to the extraordinary leadership, unwavering political will, and clear reform vision of President Bola Tinubu, under whose administration AML-CFT reforms were prioritized as a core component of Nigeria's economic governance and financial system stability agenda. He said President Tinubu's decisive leadership ensures strong interagency coordination, sustained agreement with international partners, and the full implementation of critical legal, regulatory, and institutional reforms required to address the strategic deficiencies previously identified in Nigeria's AML-CFT framework. Former Senator and rights activist Segun Sani has called for community resilience against banditry and terrorism, stating that Nigerians can no longer outsource their survival solely to the state as violence continues to ravage large parts of the north. Speaking at his book launch in Abuja, Sani said the persistence of insecurity across northern Nigeria, despite more than a decade of military operations and policy interventions, shows the limit of a government-only response. He warned that without community organization, civil consciousness, and collective resolve, rural populations would remain vulnerable to armed groups. Across Zamfara, Katsina, Kebbi, part of Kaduna, and Niger State, he said bandits have carried out killings, mass kidnapping, razed villages, and the displacement of millions. In another report, the Flag Officer Commanding FOC, Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Chidozie Okoye, has pledged improved living conditions for officers and ratings of the Nigerian Navy. He spoke at the commissioning of a newly constructed senior ratings accommodation at the Forward Operating Base FOB, Bonny, Rivers State, describing the project as a clear demonstration of purposeful leadership and commitment to personal welfare. Commissioning the facility, Rear Admiral Chidozie commended the commanding officer of FOB Bonny, Commodore Emmanuel Fingesi, for what he described as setting a new benchmark in infrastructure development within the command. He noted that the quality and timely delivery of the project reflected deliberate effort to improve living conditions for officers and ratings, stressing that such intentional leadership deserves recognition. The FOC observed that welfare-focused initiatives remain critical to operational efficiency, morale, and discipline in the Nigerian Navy, adding that the new accommodation would significantly enhance the working and living environment of senior ratings at the base. Away from that story, the Federal Road Safety Corps has reiterated its commitment to reducing road traffic crashes and fatalities in Nigeria, urging stronger collaboration among policymakers, auto manufacturers, and road users to achieve safer roads nationwide. Speaking in Lagos, the sector commander, FRSC, Lagos State Commander Kehinde Hamzat, who represented the Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed at an industry event, said road safety remains a shared responsibility that must be driven by sound policies, technology, and informed road use. Hamzat commended industry stakeholders for their critical role in shaping public perception and promoting safety consciousness through consistent reporting on vehicle innovations, traffic laws, and best practices. He said that the event not only celebrates excellence in the automotive sector, but also recognizes the impact the automotive industry has on national development and road safety initiatives. The sector commander stressed that the emergence of new vehicle models and advanced technologies presents both opportunities and challenges for road safety, noting that the media play a vital role in educating the public on these developments. Moving on, prison warders attached to the Nigerian Correctional Services in Kano has arrested a 20-year-old suspect, Mohammed Tishama, for attempting to smuggle illicit drugs concealed inside a loaf of bread to inmates. The suspect was apprehended by vigilant officers while inmates from the Goron-Deuce Custodial Center were being escorted to the Kano High Court for their respective hearings. Authorities said the bread contains substances suspected to be Indian hemp, which Tishima intended to pass to an inmate during the court proceedings. Confirming the incident, the command spokesperson, Musbahu Lawan, said the arrest highlights the command's ongoing vigilance against attempts to introduce drugs into custodial facilities. He recalled that similar attempts had been foiled recently. In Rivers State, the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martin Omewule, failed to resume plenary exactly 1 week after adjourning its last sitting. The development came amid rumors that some lawmakers were plotting to impeach Omewule during the scheduled sitting. At a sitting last Thursday, the Assembly commenced impeachment proceedings against Governor Similayo Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, over alleged gross misconduct. The House, under Omewule's leadership, cited the demolition of the assembly complex and spending without legislative approval, among other allegations, as grounds for the impeachment move. The clerk of the assembly was consequently directed to serve an impeachment notice on the governor, giving him 7 days to respond to the allegations. Still in the news, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Reconciliation Committee on Rivers State Political Crisis has assured the people that the matter would soon be amicably resolved to guarantee peace and harmony among parties involved. The chairman of the committee and former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Chief Godwin Kanu Agabi, gave the assurance during the formal inauguration of the committee in Port Harcourt. The committee therefore appealed for peace, insisting that the lingering political issues in the state poses a serious threat not only to Rivers State but to national stability and democratic conscience. In his keynote address during the inauguration, Chief Agabi maintained that the assignment was a solemn responsibility that must be achieved. He thanked God and the leadership of PANDEF, particularly the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Ambassador Godnose Igali, and elder statesman, King Alfred Papapraye Idieti Spieth, whom he described as a symbol of sacrifice and unity in the Niger Delta. Chief Agabi warned that allowing the crisis to persist will undermine public confidence in governance and leadership. Coming up next is foreign and sports. Do stay tuned. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has given her Nobel Peace Prize medal to President Donald Trump during a meeting at the White House, saying it was a recognition of his commitment to her country's freedom. President Trump says the move was a wonderful gesture of mutual respect, but the Nobel Committee has said the prize itself was not transferable. The U.S. president had declined to endorse Machado as Venezuela's new leader, despite her movement claiming victory in 2024's widely contested elections. Trump has instead been dealing with the acting head of state in Venezuela, Delcy, Maduro's former vice president, but he said meeting Machado was a great honor, calling her a wonderful woman who had been through so much. On sports, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Sport Development, Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, has commended the Super Eagles and Nigerians for their resilience and patriotism following Nigeria's narrow semi-final loss to host Morocco at the ongoing African Cup of Nations. In a message of appreciation released yesterday, Senator Abdul praised Nigerians for their unwavering support, prayers and unity behind the national team during what he described as a gallant outing in Rabat. Although the Super Eagles were beaten in the tournament semi-final after a penalty shootout defeat, the lawmaker said the team displayed courage, discipline and national pride throughout the encounter. He also lauded the professionalism and resilience of the players, urging them to approach the third-place match against Egypt with genuine confidence and determination. He also lauded the professionalism and resilience of the players, urging them to approach the third-place match against Egypt with renewed confidence and determination. And that's it on the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Cassie Tony. Bye for now.